Hey guys, my name is Amy and welcome to the first episode of Hot Sichuan Kitchen. So today we're going to be making something called Mapo Tofu or Mapo Tofu in Chinese. And it's a perfect combination of hot and Sichuanese food. It's just my favorite thing in the entire world. It's got the ma la flavor, which means like numbing and spicy at the same time. And I'll teach you how to make it. It's super easy to make, but first, ingredients. So on the left side, we have tofu. So you want soft tofu. We also have probably like 200 grams of minced beef or minced pork, whatever you want. Over here, we have some cornstarch, and that's to make the mapo tofu very thick. And over here, we have soy sauce. And this is a 5-spice powder. It's a Chinese sort of condiment, but you can also use Jamaican allspice if you don't have 5-spice, or you could use like black pepper if you don't have allspice. This is where the magic's at. It's called huajiao or Sichuan peppercorns. It's very, very numbing. You wouldn't want to chew on this on its own. It's incredibly numbing. And it's not hot Sichuan kitchen without all the spice. So here we have dried chilies, which we will be using lots and lots of. If you look at Sichuan dishes, it's usually got like a floating level of chili at the very top. And then over here we have fresh chilies, and these are Thai chilies. And the most important ingredient is this. It is called doubanjiang, or fermented chilies. So we've got dry chilies, live chilies, and fermented chilies, all the chilies in the world. Unfortunately, without this, you might not be able to make this dish as tasty, but you could try to. And then either use broth, or I am lazy, so I'm using a broth mix. Sichuan food is absolutely amazing, but it's incredibly spicy, so feel free to use less spice. In fact, I was born and raised in Sichuan, and my grandpa told me when I was 3 years old that if I didn't eat spice, I wouldn't be a part of the family. So at this point, it's become an addiction, and I need lots and lots of it in my food. Enjoy! Okay, let's get started. So first, take 200 grams of minced pork or beef and add 1 tablespoon of cooking wine and 1 teaspoon of soy sauce to it. Stir it up real good, and also add half a teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder, or 5香料 in Chinese. 5-spice powder is a traditional Chinese condiment used in many, many dishes, and it's basically a combination of 5 spices, that being star anise, fennel seeds, cinnamon, clove, and Sichuan peppercorns. If you don't have 5-spice powder, Jamaican allspice works just as well. So stir it up and let it marinate for about 5 minutes. Next, we're going to heat up the pan and cook the meat, but before we do that, we want to get the flavor of the fermented chili paste, or doubanjiang in Chinese, as well as the flavor of the Sichuan peppercorns into the oil. So put the wok or pan, no shame in using a pan to make Chinese food, on high heat. Wait until the wok is super, super hot, and then pour in about 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Sichuan food is mainly cooked on high heat, and similarly, we're going to be on high heat for a while, so it's really important to watch the pan and make sure that nothing actually burns. Watch the oil, and right when you start to see a tiny bit of smoke, immediately add a tablespoon of the Sichuan fermented chili paste, as well as 10 or so pieces of the Sichuan peppercorns. Stir it up a bit, and then add as much dry chilies as you like. And here I'm going to tear it apart first with my hands to get the seeds out, because that's what's going to release all the spiciness into the sauce. So now this part's really important. Once you can smell the fragrance of your beautiful mix of chili paste and Sichuan peppercorns and more chilies, and before things actually start to burn, add your marinated meat and fry it until the meat turns brown. This will get the flavor right into the meat. Once the meat is cooked, add enough broth to cover the meat, as well as all the tofu you're going to add later. Now, I don't have broth, so I'm going to cheat a bit and just add water with some chicken bouillon cubes later for the same effect. So while everything boils, we're going to do a couple of things. So first, cut up your soft tofu into bite-sized chunks. I like to cut them up right in the container because they sort of fall apart pretty easily when you try to cut it on a cutting board. So next, we're going to thicken the soup. Add about 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, or flour if you don't have cornstarch, and mix it up with a little bit of water to create a thick paste. I'm going to add the chicken bouillon in this paste as well because I'm frankly too scared to leave the house and buy broth right now because it's coronavirus season and I'm under lockdown. And this will help the mapo tofu soup turn more into a sauce, which is perfect for pairing it with white rice. So now it's time to add in the tofu, and if you want some extra spice, chop up some of those Thai chilies and throw those in there too. I find Thai chilies to be the best at adding heat to your dish without changing the flavor, and I personally freeze them and put them in absolutely everything, including soup. Maybe that's a bit excessive, I don't really know. Once the tofu comes to a boil, add in the thickener and give it a final stir. I'm going to clean up the kitchen here as we wait for it to boil one more time, as I hate cleaning up in my free time, and voila, we're done. Total cooking time, 10 minutes. So there you have it, authentic Sichuan Mapo Tofu. I did set off the fire alarm once while I was making that, but it was all worth it. So here I have some white rice, which is perfect for Mapo Tofu. I'm gonna put some in my bowl. It's very supple. I hope it's spicy because I added a lot of chilies. This is what it looks like, and I'm gonna try it. Hot. Oh wow, that's good. So definitely try this at home. It's super easy. The entire video was like 10 minutes from when I started cooking till when I finished, minus when I had to go set off the fire alarm, but go try to make a mapo tofu. See ya.